Right, so I reckon I come out about halfway through the jaw, and I've managed to blag a swim, number 55, right up round the back area. Now I've got loads to go out. I've got an island, I've got an out of bounds area, I've got a corner, little reedy bay area. You know, the pressure's on me, I think, to be honest, really. Like I say, it's quite a bit to go at. Just made up the first one, ready to go at 9 little solid bags. I've got in there 2mm krill pellets, 4mm krill pellets, the krill active powder, and some crushed up raw marine boilie from Baitworks. Now this is topped off of a real basic, you know, knotless knot rig, with a Corda slow sinking fake food, little yellow one, you can just about see it in the bottom there. Now I've got, this one's going to go out probably just to the edge of the island, to the edge of the out of bounds, I think, for the first hour, and just see what's happening. I'm just going to keep trickling the pellet in to this marginal area. Obviously once it's up and running, I've got the rod out and everything, I'll show you a bit around the actual swim itself. Now I've got one person sort of up around the channel, and I've got a couple of people to my right. Hopefully they don't impact my fishing too much, but I'm feeling confident. Like I say, the pressure's on me now to catch a fish, so it's just coming up to 9 o'clock, and yeah, hopefully I'll get an early fish. I think they're going to, because we're so far away from the actual tent bit itself, where obviously they've done the jaw, etc. I think they're going to bring a walkie-talkie around for us, so we don't have to shout across the whole lake and, you know, possibly damage any chances of catching more fish. So just going to give it a few minutes, wait until obviously they give it a shout and get this one, and fingers crossed it'll be the first fish in the net. So I'll come back to you shortly and let you know what's happening. Right, so I just want to talk you through really how I go about tying my solid bags. Now obviously the key to this is not getting the bag wet at any point, so I'll just dust it with a little bit of whatever, you know, powder you've got, just to dry the actual bag off itself. And obviously I also dunk the rig into the bag just to dry off any you know, dampness on the lead itself or the rig, so that's all coated with my powder. Now this can be finicky, so it's just a matter of being patient. Just drop the tip of your rig, so obviously the bait end down into the bag. You want to get your bait stuffed into the corner, and I tend to personally lie the hook down on the bottom end of the bag, like so. That way you've got a lot of clearance obviously between any more part of your rig itself, and that's all obviously going to lay out once the bag is dissolved in the water. So just do a little bit of powder just to cover the hook in, like I say, the bait, and then obviously once that bag's dissolved, pretty much that powder's washed away into nothing, and obviously your rig's left to lay free. Don't matter which way you do your pellet, I just go with the small pellets first, pinch of the big pellet, and you just want to start to build your bag up. You know, you can pretty much do it in any order once the rig's in place and packed down. Trickle in a bit more pellet. I don't want to make these bags massive, I want them just enough to be a mouthful. Once the bag's half full, drop your lead inside and just tease it in, just so it sits upright. Now I'm just going to get a little bit of broken boilie that I'll crush down with a quarter crusher, just to top this bag off with. Again, nothing mental, nothing massive food wise, just enough to, like I say, nick a quick bite hopefully. Oh, someone's in, screamer. Just because your rig's in place and obviously compacted down with all the pellets, etc., just give the bag a nice tap. Now these bags are probably half full, you can probably fill these up a little bit more if you really wanted to. Just twizzle the bag around the stem of the lead. Now grab a little bit of PVA tape just to tie it off with. Wrap it around a few times. Tie it in a knot. 2 if you want to be double sure. But I'm not casting any more than like 20 yards, so I don't really need this bag to be immaculate, but what I do want is it to go out in one piece. So next, just trim off any excess. Again, doesn't need to be pretty. Alright buddy.
Hello.
to do now is, once the bag's all been trimmed off, lick and stick. Got the corners, lick the ends, stick them down. Again, pull the corner out even. Give it a little stick. Down with your bit of your good old spit. There we go. So that's compact down. Just give it a rub into your powder, just so it's obviously dried off. Job's a good one. That's another one ready to rock and roll. So I've got 2 more tied up now. I've got some floaters out on the top. Nothing really seems to be happening, so I'm going to have a recast every 45 minutes to an hour to see what happens. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of my peg. So peg 55, got that whole little corner margin over there, got 1 rod down there at the moment. I've had a few liners and just working away around to the out of bounds area. There's a massive plume just come out of there just a minute ago, massive fizz up. So I think I'm going to give it, I don't know, another 20 minutes down there, and if nothing happens, stick another bag out against the island. There's been fish caught either side of me at the moment, and I know down the further end, down the end this morning, they were proper having it. As soon as the whistle went, apparently everyone was in, just put floaters out and they were all having it. So I don't know if you can see that there, but I put a handful of floaters out. It's starting to show a little bit of interest in that at the moment. But you know, if they start having them off the top, then I'll be whipping in that solid bag and putting some floater gear on it. There's one just starting to take now, so there's a couple starting to have it. So they might have already worked their way up here, so I might need to quickly tie up some floater gear just in case. There are a few fish just under the surface I can see there starting to have it, so it might literally just be a day of surface fishing, to be honest. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 starting to have them now. Look, I'll keep an eye on that. I might sprinkle a few more out, just leave that solid bag rod in there for the moment. But I'll come back to you shortly once I've got this other rod tied up. Just had my first take, and no sooner had I had it on, it had come off. So the rod's back out on the spot. Obviously the benefit of having rigs and bags tied up already is the fact that obviously you can just cut the line, tie another one on, get it straight back out. So after a few swear words, got a solid straight back out on where I just had that take from. It came a little bit quicker than I imagined, to be honest. I probably, a couple of minutes after putting it out, and just absolutely ripped off. So but yeah, got it halfway back and the hook just pulled. So yeah, currently just tying a couple more solid bags, and like I say, the other one's back out. I'm gagging for a brew, so I'm just going to tie these 2 up and sit back and see what happens. Really, it's more encouraging that I've had a take, to be honest, because I'm starting to get a little bit worried that solid bags weren't the one. But obviously they're getting up and around that island, which is maybe where I need to concentrate my efforts on. So just going to get this bag tied, get the kettle on, and if anything happens in between, then I'll come back to you and let you know. So I'll speak to you in a bit. Right, so I've had one. Didn't actually catch it on film. It wasn't very long after coming back from lunch, to be honest. They're not taking with very much gusto, to be honest. They're just sneaking up from the depths and just sucking them off the top. If you weren't watching, you wouldn't even know that they were having them, to be fair. They're not, proper troughing them down, but they keep sneaking back, so it's just a matter of patience and a matter of time, and just picking them off once there's only sort of like my mixer and a couple of others remaining. So I'll try and leave the camera rolling for this one, see if I can catch any footage on the camera for you. But the fish I had was like a 14 plus common. Good little scrap. It was nice to share the experience. with Gemma and Finley as they were down here when I hooked it, so that was all good. But I'm going to stick at it, floaters for the rest of the day, got a few hours left yet and see what happens, but yeah, fingers crossed for a few more. We got a 10-pounder.
Got to be
10-pounder.
Yeah, 10-pounder.
Nice. That'll do. Nick a few more, mate. I'll be up there, won't I reckon?
Yeah.
You're nicking you're nicking double figure fish every time.
Yeah.
Surely you're working on the floaters finally. Second one of the day. Had to wait a long time for this one. I pulled out a 2 already, so 10 pound on the nose and the baby, but good sport for the pair. Silver little thing.
You're still taking photos of that pair?
Yeah.
That one from earlier?
Yeah, been a while.
Right, so as you just see there, that's number 2 in the bag. 10 pound, that puts me on like 24 pound now. If I can maybe just nick a couple more fish, might actually put me up there, depending on what everyone else has been doing. But yeah, I'm glad I stuck at the floaters, to be honest. Like, done me a couple of fish, and I'm happy with that. To be fair, like, I didn't expect it to you know, to happen quite as quick after lunch. I thought I'd have to build it up again for at least another hour, 2 hours. But they're not really looking very shy at the moment in taking. Once they are going, 3 or 4 fish are coming up. It's quite hard though, because where the light levels are quite bad, you can't actually see the fish coming in. It's just literally coming up from above and just sucking. So obviously your reactions have to be just as quick as the fish is. So just going to give it 10 minutes just to let the fish come back up and start taking freely, and then I'm just going to flip my rod back out again. But yeah, fingers crossed for some more.
getting close now.
Did they say
Say that again.
Martyn's plastic hook's working again.
Martyn's plastic
And
hook.
£10
The other one
Martyn's.
had half a gill missing. You can see inside, yeah.
Bag
It's like that little
55.
soft flap.
Peg 55, Martyn Davies, £10 2.
Might as well get slapped for the third time in a row, mightn't I?
£7.11.
Peg 55.
Peg
Martyn's
55,
Angling
£10
Adventures.
Another one on the floaters.
Peg 55,
Sack of solid bags
£10
off before
2
lunch because
ounces.
that just weren't happening after losing one early doors, and now yeah, had this one on a floater, third of the day. Probably pulled out as just as many as well, so happy days. Just gonna keep
Smashing it.
trickling the leftovers and my dog biscuits in because I've got a feeling I'm gonna probably run out anytime soon, so it's gonna be on the scab around the bank. See who's got what, but yeah, we'll sit them back, see if we can get some more, and happy days.
That's how
Nice outfit.
Martyn's Angling Adventures is done.
I'd love to win this competition on floaters, mate.
It's all
That'd
about
be-
the
that'd be
camera
epic.
angles.
Boss. My dad put a camera on it.
Well, at least come up with it anyway, just from floaters alone. So, obviously it's a little learning just want to talk through a few key things you should really bring with you when you come floater fishing. Obviously, decent set of Polaroids, not that they've been much use today because of, you know, light levels and stuff haven't been great. But they do really help you, you know, see shapes at least in the water and give you clear visibility of your hook bait. Now, obviously, I've got a cap as well, keeps that glare coming out your, you know, coming down from the sun out your eyes, coupled with the glasses. You know, best combo you should, you know, you should take with you when you go floater fishing. Really, you want to take quite a soft, forgiving rod, just because obviously you want the lunges to be soaked up by the actual rod itself. You want to take a sort of low strain breaking, low breaking strain line. I got I think £8 on this one, and that'll just give you, you know, a nice flush, light line, hook end, just so it's a little less inconspicuous to the fish, and obviously they're not going to spook off of say a £15 line that's on the surface. And today I'm using one of the small Gardner controller floats as well, which is perfect for this little venue. So, you know, all those things coupled together obviously give you the tools for the trade really. But it's been tough going today. It hasn't been, you know, absolutely troughing from the top. I've had to pick my chances and, you know, put a bait out there, etc. Like I say, it has quietened down a little bit now, but hoping with the sun coming back out, they're going to get back down here and have another little go. But I think it's about an hour and a half until the end of the match. So yeah, I'm going to see what happens for the rest of the time, and fingers crossed I can nick a few more fish for you. So let's see what happens. Right.
But they weren't. Well, the trouble is he was finding they weren't cruising.
Hey?
Here we are.
They're winning fish.
Dawson.
Angry. Was it £10?
15.
15. 1 of 4. All
Mate,
the
hold it
£10
really far
mark.
away and it will look like a 40.
Yeah, that's it.
Give us some more fingers.
Yeah.
Less fingers, more arm.
Hey,
More
wrist.
Why have you suddenly got fingers the size of Richmond sausages? You know.
All taken off the top.
Standard here.
Result. Last gasp chuck. Come out of nowhere, yeah, literally, like, see a fish down the back. Me and James were just
Are you
saying,
finished with that sling?
yes mate, you crack on. Can whip it out. I'll just slip it back in the map.
Go and walk round, shall we?
Result.
Oh,
Happy days.
Well done, mine. That's awesome, mate.
Yeah mate.
Congratulations.
Well happy I struggled my arse off this morning.
Yeah, you persevered, mate.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh,
Luke, first of all, just want to say
yeah, he could have won it.
thanks to everyone for coming. It's all for a great cause. We've raised loads of money with the raffle and the barbecue. First of all, just want to say thanks to the lads who helped us weighing in the fish, and obviously Rich as well, who's pretty much helped me with everything. It's him who I sent the email to, so I've asked him to do the match stuff. He's donated, making the prizes and that. So just a round of applause for the lads who weigh the fish. And also Rich. Right. Second place with £37, 8 ounces, and also heavy fish.
James.
Heaviest fish, £16, 8 ounces was Paul Britton.
Oh, I've left my bloody thingy around there, didn't I? Yeah.
50-50 on that, then Paul with Carp.
And first prize was right at the death with the win, and £50 cash is Martyn Davis with £40 free access. Well done, Mark. And that's it, lads.
So, happy days. You just couldn't write it, to be honest. Literally, right on the last death, I've hooked a 10-pounder to take the winnings on the match. Nothing's happened since the third fish. Not a sniff, not seen a single fish anywhere in this area. Now the sun's come out, it's really hot and they just ain't interested whatsoever. But I've seen one fish just come off the island and nose one of the freebies that are still out there. So I thought, you know what I've got to lose. Wound in the controller, flicked it out. Fish had disappeared, to be honest. I hadn't even seen it. And James, one of the bailiffs and photographers, have said, "Oh, there's two in the channel." So I've looked over, and by that time, looking back at my own controller, just absolutely tore off. And yeah, the result, £10, I think what, £10.15 mirror, and happy days has won me the match. So you couldn't write it, to be quite honest. I'm absolutely buzzing. Great day's fishing. You know, it's really hard this morning. I couldn't buy a bite, to be quite honest, and come lunchtime I was a little bit, you know, downbeat about it all. Shouldn't really be blanking on a lake like this, but yeah, pulled it out the bag right on the last minute. Absolutely buzzing. But what can you say? There's still a few fish milling around, but they were not having it after that third fish. I was gonna, you know, I'd kind of, you know, settled for 3 fish and 3 off the top, but to finish on such a high like that, on, you know, in such a last minute thing was, you know, I'm on cloud 9, to be honest. Just going to do a slow pack down now, because all the kit's absolutely everywhere. Been round to see all the lads and, you know, take my money and stuff. It's been a great day all round, so look forward to coming down, doing it again hopefully. So hope you've enjoyed the vlog. You know, it's a little bit hit and miss, this one, I think, where obviously I didn't have much to go on this morning, but the floater fishing's come good in the end. So thanks for all your help, everyone that's helped out today, you know, weighing the fish and all that business, and making sure everything's done for me while I you know, sort out my own bits. So yeah, good day all round, but I'll leave it there, and